Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So as if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, we are doing a leg workout. So during this video, I will be popping in like this and a little bit like this because I tried to film it a different way while I was working out, and then halfway through the workout I forgot I was doing that because I got, caught up in my workout, that I just stopped filling you in and explaining things. So I decided, why not come on here like this and help you out. I also never filmed an intro and never filmed an outro for it, so clearly the video wasn't gonna work either way, so I decided, let's do it this way. I'm looking like a hot mess.
Emphasis on the hot.
Today's workout is going to be a leg workout, but first, before we get into the leg workout, we gotta warm up. So yeah, you'll see that first. I personally need to warm up before I do big heavy compound movements like this, just because I will get super stiff. It'll be really hard for me to move smoothly and transition through the movement if I don't. So I warm up a lot with resistance bands. So basically my entire warm up involves resistance bands. I also do a lot of light stretching beforehand, and that's not shown just because, you do whatever makes you comfortable, whatever helps you get ready for your lift and everything like that, so that you stretch that way. These are the mobility and warm-up exercises that I like to do before I get into squatting or any type of leg day. So the first warm-up exercise that we are doing is a resistance band squat. So for this particular warm-up, I am using the long resistance bands. You can see in the video, you're gonna just perform these as you would perform a normal squat without a resistance band. And the next resistance band exercise I like to do is with another long band, and that is good mornings. So if you've never done a good morning before, most of the time people do them with barbells. Personally, but I don't like doing them with a barbell. I think they're a better warm-up exercise with a resistance band. I do think that using a barbell does put a little bit too much tension on your lower back, so I like doing them this way best. But like I said, if you've never done them before, you stand, feet hip width apart, you have the resistance band under your feet and over your shoulders. You can put a slight bend in your knee that you're going to hinge at your hips. You want to get your back flat and parallel to the floor. You're not coming over, you're not rounding, you're not going all the way down. You are simply just making your back flat, coming parallel to the ground and coming back up. So this next round of warm-ups is going to be for your upper body. So when you're doing big compound movements, it's a full body movement. So you use every single muscle group that you have basically. So during these first few exercises, normally people do these with a PCP pipe or some type of really lightweight stick or whatever most people have. Personally, I do not have one of those. So I just like to use a resistance band, and you hold it on each end like you can see in the video. And these are the shoulder rotations. So you bring the resistance band forward and backwards. I like to do this 8 times to warm up my shoulders because you use a lot of shoulder mobility and a lot of upper body mobility. Hold the bar on your back. So by doing these exercises, it warms up my back and my shoulders and gets me ready, because if I don't, I'll feel very stiff in my upper body as well, and then I'll feel a little bit of pain the next few days because I didn't warm up my upper body properly, considering that is where the weight is sitting. And especially since the way that you rotate your arms when you're putting the barbell on your back, these exercises really do help warm up and give you that flexibility and the mobility in your shoulders and in your upper back to be able to do these big compound movements. And this next warm-up exercise is basically the same thing, except they're around the worlds or circle shoulder rotations, whatever you want to call them. You just go around one way 8 times, and then you go back the other way 8 times. You can do less, you can do more, whatever you want to do. It's kind of up to you and how you feel, how comfortable you are, if you feel stiff or not, if you feel like you've warmed up enough. These are based on how you feel and how comfortable you are. So this exercise, I actually don't know if it's like a real thing or not, or if it's has a name, but normally I would do this with a PCP pipe, but since like I said, I don't have one, I have a resistance band. So normally with the PCP pipe, I put it over my head, like I would be doing a shoulder press, and then I'd be bringing it down, like you see in the video, bending my arms and putting it on my back, like I would be doing with a barbell. But clearly I don't have one of those. So with the resistance band, I kind of like do a little bit of a different thing. You know, like as you see in the video, I stretch the resistance band behind the back of my head and really warm up my rear delts and my lats. So I just call them like lat pulls or something like that. I don't remember. It'll be on the screen. But like I said, I don't know if this is like a real thing, but I know it helps me because it reminds me to engage my lats and engage my upper back so that I don't like lean forward and that I hold everything tight. I think most people know this one. This one is a very common thing that people do when they warm up, especially their shoulders and their back, and that is just rear delt pulls. So like I said, I'm using resistance band, but this one you're literally just kind of like you're doing like mini rear delt flies. You're pulling the resistance band away and then together. It's, you know, you see in the video, very basic. Again, for this exercise, I don't know if there's an actual name for these. I'm kind of just making up the names, but I'm calling them good morning twists. So again, like I said, most people would do this with a PCP pipe. I don't have one, so I'm using a resistance band. Basically, you're gonna do a good morning the same way as I did earlier, except the resistance band is not going to be under your feet. You're going to hold it like you would have a PCP pipe. And so you're gonna go into the movement by doing a good morning, and then you are going to twist once your body is parallel to the ground. You would see how I'm doing it in the video. This warms up your spine and gives you that nice rotation for the flexibility and mobility in your back to warm it up, and yada yada yada, you know, everything that I keep saying. So this is a very long warm-up, let me tell you, okay? My legs really need a long warm-up, otherwise I'm not gonna have that great of a session. I need to feel like I can move and that my body feels loose. So you don't have to do all of this. These are just kind of like suggestions. I don't do this long every single time, but most of the time my warm-up is pretty long. So this next warm-up exercise is going to be with an actual thick, like people used to call them hip circles, but now they're called, you know, like booty resistance bands. I don't know. Either way, it's still a resistance band. It's just a short resistance band. So this next warm-up is going to be side to side squat walks. So if you do not know how to do this, I mean, it's very, you could see in the video how I do it, but basically in a squat position, and you're stepping side to side. You can either step from right to left, or you can do a few steps to the right and a few steps to the left. Very simple. And the last warm-up that I have is short resistance band squats. So like I did in the beginning, I did squats with a really long resistance band. Now I'm doing them with the booty band, the hip circle, whatever you want to call it. Just because it's a little bit different of tension. The tension is put in a different spot. So when I'm doing them this way, it reminds me to activate and push my knees out during the squat. Considering the resistance band is around my thighs, it's pressing them in. So it's keeping my mind active and making me engage my glutes more, as well as reminding me to push my knees out on the way down and on the way up. And lastly, this kind of can go into some people's like actual working sets if they don't have a very strong squat or they're still working on form or whatever. But I personally like to warm up with the bar as well. So I do about 2 sets of 8 with just the bar, sometimes 1 set of 8, sometimes 1 set of 10 to 12. You know, it varies on the day on how much weight I'm gonna actually do. But I like to do that. I like to warm up with just the barbell and get a feeling for the weight with it on my back, get the rotation in my upper body, just so I can feel very comfortable in the movement, very comfortable with where I'm standing and my feet placement. This part of the workout is very important because this is where you like kind of get a sense of where you are I guess, in space and where you are, like where you want to, what feels comfortable, what doesn't feel comfortable. Because sometimes when you're just doing body weight stuff and you don't actually have something on your back, it's really hard to tell like the way your whole body as a whole, you know, is feeling. So I think this is very important to warm up with just the bar first and then adding weight. And plus, if you add weight too fast, you're going to fatigue quicker and there's more chance for mistake.
It's so hot out here, I'm sweating. So for squats today, we are going to do 3 by 6, so 3 sets of 6 reps at 195 pounds, and that is going to be our squat work with a barbell for the day.
So during this time you see me, I'm doing some squats at 95 pounds. I know originally I said 195. That was very wrong. I don't know what came over me. Quick little form tips. Keep your core tight, keep your glutes engaged, keep your chest up as much as possible. I am doing a low bar squat, so naturally my chest is going to come a little bit forward and lower. But if you are not doing those, your chest should be up. Make sure that you're not popping your chest though, because you don't want that arch in your back. You want a nice flat back and a nice smooth squat going straight up and down. This next exercise, I also don't know the name of. I'll probably end up putting it on the screen somewhere because I'll find out. But I'm just gonna call these knee extensions. Behind the knee extensions with a resistance band. Resistance band behind the knee extensions. So this specific exercise is really good for your quads, and it's actually really great for knee health. So it helps strengthen the muscles that are around and behind the knee, as well as really activating your quad. So as you can see here in the video, like I don't think I really need to explain it that much. I have one foot on the ground, you know, planted, and the next one that is actually doing the work is a little bit just behind the heel of my other foot, and I am bending and straightening that leg. Trust me, like I highly recommend you do this. I didn't realize how hard this one was gonna be because I underestimated a lot of things. But this exercise actually was really great. I have like a history of knee problems, so actually I did feel a lot better after doing it. My knees didn't feel as achy that day when I had done them. So yes, 10 out of 10 would recommend this exercise. Moving on to reverse lunges. I think everybody knows how to do a reverse lunge. Everybody knows how to do a lunge. And if you don't, I am very sorry that I didn't explain it, but I just feel like I don't need to. If you need that explanation, you know, just, you know, let me know and I'll give it to you. But otherwise, we're just gonna move on. But before I move on, I'm showing you reverse lunges in 2 different ways just because I was holding a dumbbell. So you can either hold the dumbbell above your head and do the reverse lunges that way. That also gets a little bit of shoulder activation in there and also a lot of like core activation, because you really have to concentrate on holding in your core and holding the weight above your head and then going into the lunge. Or you can do the easier way of doing reverse lunges with the dumbbell at your chest. You can also do it holding 2 of them in either hand or 1 of them with or a kettlebell, whatever. And our last exercise, of course, had to finish with dumbbell RDLs. So now, honestly, I am not a fan of RDLs, but I basically do them in almost every leg workout or some form of RDLs, just because I know that they are a great hamstring exercise. So if you don't know how to do RDLs, I'm sorry, I'm also not going to explain it because I'm pretty sure I've explained this on my channel. But anyways, a slight description, you know, feet hip width apart, hinge at the hips, slight bend to the knee, straight back. But anyways, that is it for this video. That was my whole workout that day. Let me tell you, it was a little bit of a killer. So this workout was actually filmed the week after I had finished my Chloe Ting challenge. So I was a little weaker than I had anticipated. I'm being off basically from weightlifting for 2 weeks. I figured that this was a good workout to bring you along on because it's not very tough or very long, but it's still a good workout to help you gain strength and size in your legs and in your booty if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, that is it for this video. I genuinely do too many peace signs. I don't know. Alright guys, but thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social medias as well as subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to like this video because it really helps my channel. So does subscribing, so remember to do that, okay? Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys next time. Bye.